So, the topic for today is hands, and we will be covering it's sort of like a beginner intermediate level lesson. And we're covering three things. Those are warm ups, what I call foundations, and then some basic exercises for you to have. So, if you're like brand new on the drum kit, this will be good for you. If you're an intermediate player and you don't really have your hand stuff organized, this will be good for you as well. And at the end, I'll show you some ways that you can modify this if you're advanced as well. Sounds good? So, our warm ups, if you guys have seen the warm up video, we have two basic warm ups. The first one is countdown, and the second one is singles, doubles, and diddles. So, for countdown, just to remind everybody, what we've got is one right, one left, two rights, two lefts, three, four. Okay? So the thing that gets people tricked up on this is the turnaround, coming down. So when you're coming down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so if you're struggling with that turnaround, just take that part slowly, okay? I'm going to play this whole thing 4 times. Ready? 1 and 2, and here we go. And 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you feel good, you can take the tempo up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Here comes the turnaround. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, going down, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and 1. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and done. There you go. First warm up. Gets the brain warmed up, gets the hand warmed up. Okay, let's get to singles, doubles, and diddles. If you're just starting off and you haven't done doubles before, you can just start with singles and alternates. So again, singles, doubles, and diddles, we've got 8 rights, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 lefts, right? We do that 4 times, and then we go to 16th notes, 1 E enda, 2 E enda, 3 E enda, 4 E enda. We do 4 measures of that, okay? So maybe we'll play through this thing again 4 times, all right? I'll leave out the doubles for today. We're not really even going to get to doubles today. So let's just do singles and alternates, okay? So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, we'll take the tempo up once it gets easier. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Then we'll go to 16th notes. Here we go. 1, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. Back to the top a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Sixteenths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Sixteenths. Here we go. And 2, 3, 4 to the top. You go whatever tempo's good for you. 16th notes. Here we go. 2, 3, and out. There you go. Basic 2 warm-ups for your beginners. Anybody can play them. You don't need to have any experience. You don't need to play it as fast as I did. Play at whatever tempo you're comfortable, okay? It's a lot more important to be able to play even and to play calmly and have your hands be relaxed than playing fast, okay? Speed comes with repetition. It doesn't come with muscles. Okay, so let's get to the part of the lesson called foundations. What does that mean? We're not going to talk about hand technique. We're not going to talk about rudiments. We're going to talk about what are the building blocks of playing the drums. And there's only 3 types of strokes for all of drums, okay? There's alternate, which is changing hands. There's unison, which is both hands together. And then there's doubles. The difference with unisons is that, or with doubles, is that they're not wrist strokes. It's a bounce, right? Let's do it on the bouncy side of this pad here. It's a bounce. Okay, so we have one note singles, we have unisons, playing both hands together, and then we have the kind of bounce double family. Okay, and everything that we play is made up of those things. Paradiddles, flams, flamadiddles, Swiss triplets, radamucues, whatever. Every single thing is just those 3 strokes in some different order or combination, okay? So it's really important that you be able to play all 3 of those comfortably. What I usually start students off with is we'll add something like unisons to their singles, doubles, and diddles. So you'll start with, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16th notes, and then you add unisons. And you want your hands to be going exactly the same. Okay? That probably feels weird for a lot of people, especially if you're a beginner. But the reason why we use unisons is because we play them on the drum kit all the time. So if you're playing a beat that's like hi-hat on 8th notes and your snare drum on the back beat, that right there, that's a unison stroke. And if that's not clean, your beat sounds bad. Unless that's the sound you're going for. Right? But you're not going for that if you're trying to play AC/DC or whatever, right? So you need to be able to have your sticks perfectly together, unisons. As far as bounces, that's a whole different thing. That takes a long time to work on, and we'll have a different lesson for that. Today, we're just going to be focusing on singles and unisons. Okay. Now, before we move on to the exercises, I do want to say one more thing about unisons, which is kind of like a magic trick, a secret trick. I think Thomas Pridgeon was the one that I saw first do this. If you can play something with both hands in unison, you can play it twice as fast, really easily. So let's take something like 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, right? If my right hand is going by itself, and I offset the left hand like this, I'm playing twice as fast, right? okay, so let's say I wanted to multiply that. Both hands unison, right? Then offset the left one. Right? Okay. Offset. Okay, so we'll come back to that stuff later. We got our foundations, we've got our warm-ups. Let's do our exercises, okay? So I hope you guys watched the last video I just posted about grids, because that's what we're going to be using. And the grid we're going to be using specifically is based off of stick control. And it has, I mean, the whole first page of stick control is basically a great grid to use, but let's say today we're going to use maybe 8 of those, okay? All right, so what does this mean? If you didn't see my last video and you're not sure, these are whatever we choose to make them, okay? So the first thing we're going to start with is eighth notes and quarter notes. So in this example, A is going to be eighth notes. B is going to be quarter notes. Okay, so number 1 would be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? Number 2 would be 1, 2 and 3, 4 and, correct? Okay, so I'm going to take this at my tempo. I don't want to bore you guys by going super slow in this stuff, but I want to give the beginner something to play along with, okay? So we're going to play through this whole set. Maybe take a screenshot of that. I'll definitely post this stuff afterwards if you guys want to watch this again, okay? Let's find a good tempo, and let's play through it. All right, here we go. So we're going to do each one 4 times, okay? 1, 2, number 1, here we go, and... Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. And out. We're going to go through 3 more subdivisions with this, kind of the most important subdivisions you want to have on the kit. Those are eighth notes, 16th notes, triplets, and quarter notes, okay? So we just did quarter notes and eighth notes. Now we're going to go to sixteenth notes, and eighth notes. Okay? Same thing. Let's take a good tempo. You guys playing along? Let's take the tempo down to like 120. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, right? All right, number 1, 2, ready, here we go, and number 2, number 3, number 4, five, 6, 7. Eight. Oop, right, eighth notes. All right, let's add another subdivision. This time, triplets. If you're a beginner and you haven't played triplets before, the trickiest thing about them is that your hands, your sticking changes because they're an odd number of notes. If you can't play this alternate and you're not able to keep up with the hand switching, play triplets as something like right, right, left, or right, left, left, okay? So number 1, we got 1 tita 2 and 3 tita 4 and 1 tita 2 and 3 tita 4 and... All right, here we go. 1 tita 2 and 3 tita 4 and 1, 2, here we go. Number 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8's kind of like a cool down, right? Because it's always the slowest subdivision. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... It doesn't have to be, but in all these examples it is. And we're out. Last one, and then we're going to get to some more of the modifications that we can do to make this better for your advanced intermediate players, okay? Last one, we're going to mix 16th notes and triplets. Like that. So we got 1 tita 2 e and a 3 tita 4 e and a 1 tita 2 e and a 3 tita 4 e and a. Let's try about 105. How's that sound? 1 tita 2 e and a 3 tita 4 e and a. Okay? Again, for your beginners, if the sticking's too hard to do the switching from right to left, just do right, right, left for triplets or right, left, left, okay? 1 tita 2 e and a 3 tita 4 e and a 1, 2, here we go. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Modification for your beginners. 8. Out. To recap, this is our grid, okay? This is the same thing we play with any subdivision, okay? Now, if you're a beginner, do it, just try to keep up with what I just did. If you're intermediate, obviously you can do it faster and you can modify sticking. But let's see how everybody can have a way to play this in a more comprehensive fashion. This is where gauntlets come in. So let's take the 4 subdivisions we just played. We have quarter notes, we have eighth notes, we have triplets, and we have 16th notes. Boom, there those are, right? Let's put them the other way here. Waboosh, waboosh, waboosh. Now, you've got a gauntlet. This is a grid of grids, okay? So every one of these squares here represents one of those exercises we just played, right? Okay, So let's cross off the ones we've already done. We've already done eighth notes and quarter notes. We've already done, what, triplets and eighth notes, right? We've already done triplets and 16th notes, right? And we've already done 16th notes and eighth notes. So it looks like this. Okay, so we have all these other squares to play, right? So what would another one be? For example, there we've got triplets and quarter notes, right? Here we've got 16th notes and quarter notes, right? If that seems like it's boring to play quarter notes, just play it faster. If you play quarter notes at 200 BPMs, they're not very boring, right? And sometimes you're going to have to mix slow notes with fast notes. The point is being thorough. It's not being always super exciting. It's making sure you can play all of the subdivisions evenly, right? So working this way, make sure you don't have any blind spots, okay? All right. There's two questions people always ask when they see this. The first question they ask is, all right, that's quarter notes and eighth notes, right? Well, isn't that eighth notes and quarter notes? Isn't that the exact same thing? Well, what can we do to change that? For all of these, we were playing with our right hand as the lead, right? So what about for all of these? We play with our left hand as the lead. So you go through and play everything you just did again, but with left hand lead. The next question people ask is, what about these middle ones? That's quarter notes and quarter notes, eighth notes and eighth notes, 16th notes and 16th notes, right? Triplets and triplets. How can we grid that if they're the same subdivision? Well, you can do a lot of things. You can play your A's as your right hand and your B's as your left hand, or you could play them as unisons and one is right hand. Let me show you right hand versus left hand, okay? We're going to take eighth notes and eighth notes, okay? And again, we're just going to do a simple grid for now. A, B, and B, A. What would that be? A is right, B is left. So A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Number two is B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A. Number three isn't on there, but that's A, B, B, A, B, B, right? So we've got triplets and triplets now. Same thing. A, B, B, A. A is right, B is left. Like this. A, B, A, B, A, B. Switch it. B, A, B, A, B, A. A, B, B. A, B, B. A, B, B. A, B, B. Let's do B, B, A. Here we go. B, B, A, A. B, B, A, A. B, B, A, A, B, B, A, A. Okay? One more thing I want to show you guys. This goes back to unisons, okay? This is a way to take everything we just did in this gauntlet, which is backwards, I'm sorry. Everything we just did, we can now multiply it by 2 by using unisons. So let's say 16th notes and 8th notes. So here's how it works. Take a rhythm like 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and, right? If my right hand is playing that, and I play the same thing with my left hand, but offset, I just doubled the tempo. So a really, really quick shortcut to getting your speed up is to start playing things in unison. And where I just was triplets and 16th notes. Triplet 2 E and a triplet 4 E and. Now, I will save the video. If you're a beginner, what I would recommend is you play this gauntlet just as written, okay? If you're intermediate, I would recommend you start it maybe with playing the whole top half of the gauntlet with your right hand, the whole bottom half with your left hand, and the middle with unisons, and then multiplying everything by 2, right? If you're advanced, well, you can start to use rudiments. You can play 16th notes as paradiddles. You can do doubles. Right? There is just an endless number of ways you can modify this. And in the last video, I actually said, you shouldn't probably try to play a gauntlet in a whole day because you might go crazy. It's not that it's not doable. It's just that there's so many possibilities you'll never move on to other stuff, right? And this is just our hands. We're just warming up here, okay? Leave a comment. Shoot me a video of you playing it. I want to see how you guys like this stuff. See if you guys understand it. Sounds great? Cool. All right. Happy drums to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys soon.